Hey guys, welcome back to For the Win 3-Point Stance. I'm your host, Evan Thorpe. This is our NFL lead writer, Steven Ruiz. And today we'll be looking at the best underrated and overrated wide receivers in the 2019 draft. And I think we all know who's number one in your heart when it comes to wide receivers.
Yeah, it's DK Metcalf. I know people like to nitpick his game because he didn't run a lot of routes in Ole Miss's offense. He didn't put up like crazy numbers either. I think that was more of a product of the scheme. And then he didn't test well, like in terms of agility. He obviously tested well with his 40 time and his vert and all that stuff. But I don't really have a problem with the fact that he's not really agile and gets in and out of his breaks really quickly, because one thing he does do is win at the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. And there are many different ways you can win on a route. You can have quick feet and you can sink your hips and snap off a nice cut and then create separation like that. Or you can win at the line of scrimmage, create separation, and then when you have speed like him, you can separate.
So Tyreek Hill, somebody who wins with his speed. Mm-hmm. You compare him to Des Bryant, somebody who wins with not only his speed, but his size.
Yeah, his size and then his movement off the line. Because Des Bryant, he wasn't like the best route runner, but he was great at getting off the line. Mm-hmm. And then he's going to make 50-50 catches. And then we're going to see him just... This is an example of him winning off the line, and then once he gets that advantage, if you're a slower receiver, you kind of let the cornerback get back into the play. He doesn't. He's just burning down the field once he gets past you. And right there, he wins with his physicality. You can see his hand usage. The cornerback tries to jam him. He just slaps that away with ease, and then you're not going to recover. Once he has a step like that, he runs like 4.3, 4.4. He's going to recover. And he makes a great catch. That's what those long arms are good for. He's got great hands, too. He's not going to drop the ball, and then he finishes for a touchdown.
What's the need to run routes when you can just run past people?
Exactly. He only ran vertical routes, but when you do that all the time, you can do it. And he did show some potential as a route runner. I think if you get him with like a good receiver coach that knows how to coach how to run routes, I think he'll be a great player.
All right, so this is the best wide receiver in this year's draft. Who is somebody who's overrated?
Overrated, I'm going to go with Hakeem Butler. I don't know if he's overrated by NFL draft scouts, but people on Twitter are really hyped about him. And it's easy to see why. He's a big guy. He ran a fast time at the combine. And he's really good once he gets the ball in his hands. He's really good after the catch. Some people kind of compare him to T.O. in that regard, who was also a big guy that could run after the catch. My problem with him is he drops the ball a lot. Mm-hmm. He had a catch rate of 74 on target passes. So that's like if me and you were playing catch and I was throwing it right to you every time and you dropped it every 4 passes. You'd be like, well, what is this? But he does make great contested catches. So it's kind of like he's got great hands in one regard, but he drops passes. Like he makes the impossible catches and then drops the gimme one. So I feel like that cancels out his great skill at making those contested catches. And then he can't run routes. He can't run routes at all. It's even worse than DK Metcalf, because Metcalf can win off the line of scrimmage. He can't win. I don't think he can win really anywhere. That's why he has to make so many contested catches. And just look at this route. He's right here. Does this look like a route of an explosive athlete? It just takes him. He's a big body, so it takes him. And then this is that's his break right there. That's supposed to be a dig. It's supposed to be a cut inside, and he rounds it off. You hear about receivers rounding off their routes. That's what he does. He creates no separation at all. And that's my issue with him. You want receivers that do 2 things: get open and catch the ball. He doesn't do either of those well.
So if DK has trouble running routes, what do you consider his technique with running routes?
I don't know. He's like the best thing I've heard is that he runs routes like he has ankle weights on. And which I think applies. You know that tweet someone tweeted out Draymond Green shoots like he has a book bag on.
Yeah.
That's how he runs routes, like he has a book bag on. Like, can't you see that? Like, he runs like your 50-year-old uncle.
Like he got a textbook in his back and it's like slowing him down from making that hard cut.
Yeah, he's got back problems.
You need to make that a tweet. Once he gets drafted, you need to make that a tweet and make it happen. All right, we talked about the best. We talked about somebody who's overrated. Who's somebody who slept on so far in the draft process?
I think Miles Boykin is... there's a lot of guys that I think that are going to go in the second round that could be Pro Bowl receivers, but Miles Boykin might not even go in the second. I've seen him like a 3rd, 4th round pick, and I really don't understand why, because one, he blew up the combine. Everyone freaked out about DK Metcalf's combine. He was even better. He's bigger than DK, or he's as big as DK Metcalf, ran a 4.4. He ran the agility drills and did great at them. He was like in the 88th percentile in all those. And He has a 43-inch vertical, and he did his broad jump 140 inches. He's an explosive athlete. And guess what? He can play football. He can run routes, and he can catch.
So not only is he an Avenger, but he can catch and still be out here jumping from Thanos with 114 broad jumps.
He deserves to be on the Avengers more than Hawkeye does, I'll tell you that much. But, let's see. Here he is. This is him winning off the line of scrimmage. And he uses his hands. He's a big receiver. He didn't put up a lot in the bench press, but he plays strong. And then he's got this guy. He's holding on to him. You're going to see it more once we let the play run. He starts to hold on. And he kind of creates separation with his offhand. And then he makes a diving catch, finds the ball. That's what I love about him. You turn on the tape against Stanford, against Clemson, when he's going up against the best defense in the nation. Clemson could not guard him. And they had Trayvon Mullen on him, who's probably going to be a second, third round pick, a day 2 pick at cornerback. He shadowed him for the most part. He couldn't guard Boykin. So I don't understand why his stock isn't higher. But if your team takes him in the second round, you should be excited about it, because I think he's a #1 receiver. And give him 2 years, and I think he'll be a fringe Pro Bowler.
All right, well, there you have it. That is Steven's best underrated and overrated wide receivers. Tune in next week as we'll be looking at interior linemen, outside linemen, and then we're just ready for the draft, right?
Yeah, those are the only positions that matter.
All right, thank you guys for watching.